All right, guys, so we have quite the wild week coming up, and you have a lot of big decisions to make, honestly. So the timeline of events here, real quick. Wixwell announced that we could choose his skills. We choose his skills. We make for a champion who's pretty decent, but not like crazy, out of the world, mind-blowing, insane. Well, I made some videos talking about how he's actually pretty good in Hydra, and for a lot of players, he could be beneficial if you need a good, solid mischief tank, provoke champion, and some good support overall for a team. You could see my Nightmare video that I did, and mixed opinions about him in general. So then we have Bronco, who does a video talking about Wixwell plus Yannicka doing crazy, insane damage in Hydra. However, that video from Bronco came out at a time where a lot of players decided whether they were going for or going to skip going for the Wixwell during the fusion. Well, let me go in here to the breakdown of the fusion calendar and why this is so important. So Bronco's video, I believe, released yesterday sometime, and we already missed 2 events. Now, if you're paying attention to the fusion calendar, you will know that missing some events is not really something you can do here. So you got to go for the events, basically. If you're going to do the fusion, you got to go for the events. If you miss an event, well, you're kind of going to be out of luck on the fusion, because this is a fusion where you have to get every single one of the rares, and then you have to level them up, you have to rank them up, you have to ascend them, and you have to fuse into the epics to fuse into Wixwell. And the only way possible to get the fusion done if you miss these 2 events would be to pull some void shards and get lucky, I guess you could say, and get one of these rare champions, or go for the summon rush down here. Now, with summon rushes, why is this such a big deal? Because summon rushes give you the most points based on the rarity of shard that you pull. So Sacred's giving the most, I believe Primal's next, then Voids, then Ancients. Ancients giving basically nothing. They're a pretty bad shard for this kind of event. Now, the reason why this becomes an issue is because I believe it's tomorrow, which is Tuesday, they are launching a Sacred Shard Extra Legendary event. Now, Extra Legendary events are one of the best events inside of Raid, and Extra Legendary from Sacred, if you have a decent amount of Sacred saved up, is probably worth doing, because you're going to get 1 legendary that turns into 2 legendaries essentially. So 1 shard, 2 legendaries, it's a great event. However, that raises the issue. If you saw Bronco's video and you have the champions to build that team, or you want to go for him now with the possibility that, hey, he's going to work into more Yannicka teams, he's going to work into other teams in the future and actually be a champion worth going for, then you're going to have to decide, am I going for the extra sacred event tomorrow? The extra legendary event from Sacred Shards tomorrow, or am I saving up for the Summon Rush event down here? Now for Summon Rush, I would say probably saving, I think 7 sacreds is probably pretty smart. Now if you have plenty of void shards, you have plenty of ancients, plenty of not ancients, don't worry about ancients. If you have plenty of voids, some primals you're not too worried about separating and parting ways with, then maybe you could go for that. But if you're somebody who's already skipped these 2 events, which are over now, you're 2 rares short. So it means you kind of have to go for this event. Now, if you've skipped 4 events, so you skip these 2, you skip the champion chase turn, which is actually over now as well. So if you skipped all 3 of these events, well, you have to go for this. And you could essentially skip 1 more event throughout this stuff as well. You could have skipped all 4 of these events right here and still be in the running to actually get this. You just have to make sure you get the Summon Rush finish down here. I've seen some players saying that they're out of luck on the event. So if you're somebody who's considering going for this fusion still, but you're thinking, dang, I've already missed the events, I can't go for this fusion any longer, don't worry, you still can go for it. You just have to make sure you finish the current artifact enhancement event, which by the time this video posts, you should have a few hours left, finish the Classic Arena tournament, and then get started on the Ice Golem, Dungeon Divers, and all that stuff to come. But currently, you still can do it. You just have to know that you will be pulling for the Summon Rush event, no matter if you skipped 1 champion or if you skipped all 4 champions, you have to go for the Summon Rush event. Now, if you're somebody who's stayed up to date, got everything so far, you're doing good, well, you can just continue doing the thing you're doing and make sure you don't skip anything. And if you happen to skip something on the way, well, then you got to do the Summon Rush, which makes it a much bigger decision to, hey, am I going to pull for this 1+1 event? You could get, a Rotos plus Harima, or you could get 2 previous fusion champions that may just be vault keepers in and of themselves. So as far as that stuff goes, I think I'm probably still going to try to pull some Sacred Shards. However, it's one of those things where the sunk cost fallacy will kick in very fast, and you'll essentially be like, okay, well, I've already opened 7 Sacreds and I haven't hit a legendary yet. I might as well open up my extra 3, and you open up your extra 3 and you still don't get anything. And now you have no extra legendary, you are short on the fusion, and you're really in a bad spot. So you're going to have to think about, okay, if the Summon Rush comes around and I have to open up 7 Sacreds or even more worth of shards to get the epic from that event, am I going to be able to do a similar amount of points in Voids? I have no clue how many voids you'd actually need to do that, but you would definitely want more than 14, maybe 50 plus. I don't really know, to be honest, but it's probably going to be a decent amount. I believe void shards, I forget what the numbers are, but I want to say they're like 150 points each, and I think sacreds are 500 points each. So you're going to need a significant higher number of void shards than you would sacred shards. Honestly, for sacreds, at 10, I'm probably in a decent spot. A whole lot lower than that, it's probably kind of risky. Now, I do pick up this monthly offer relatively often, so getting this isn't a bad deal. We get 2 sacred shards there for the extra legendary event, but past that, sacred shard deals are usually pretty garbage. So unless you have some stuff in the 3v3 bazaar that you can pick up, I don't know if I do as far as the sacred shard. I've already bought that. So pick up sacred shards wherever you can. Best of luck getting some stuff from the Doom Tower if you haven't finished that off yet. Maybe try to talk to the clan boss and get it to drop you something good. But really, you got to get some more sacreds if you want to go for both of these events. Just know the extra legendary event could be something amazing, could be something bad. If you had the champions to make the Yanaka team, maybe you could go for that. But then again, it could be nerfed. Who knows, right? Though with the nerfing thing, Yanaka's worked like this forever. Yanaka's been in the game forever. If they haven't nerfed Trunda, I can't see them nerfing Yanaka in this. It could definitely happen. But since they haven't nerfed Trunda, I would be surprised if they went in and nerfed Yanaka. Because Yanaka's a champion who's had this stuff forever. Right? She's literally had this forever. She's been like this forever. It's not as... It doesn't require as much as the Trunda team, so not as much money for Plarium. It's probably not going to do as much damage either as the Trunda team, though it could be some crazy stuff potential. Maybe you see a Trunda plus... No, not Trunda plus Yanaka wouldn't work. But either way, if you're going to go for it, guys, best of luck. I just want to share this video with you so you could know that, hey, even if you missed some of these events, even if you missed all 4 events, if you missed 4 events total, you can still go for this event. You just have to plan for the Summon Rush. And that would specifically come tomorrow by skipping the extra legendary event or deciding, hey, do I have the resources to go for both? It's completely up to you. Is Wixwell somebody you want? I think for a lot of players who are struggling with Hydra, he's an amazing champion. Now, if he stays as he is, and Yanaka does too, and you can hit these billion plus damages on Nightmare Hydra, well, now he becomes insane for players. And like for Hydra Clash, he's kind of a must-have. And you're going to feel left behind if you don't get him, which is kind of the, I guess, downfall of Hydra Clash. The part I don't like about it. Really, Hydra Clash is annoying. I mean, the fact that, this is a team with no Trunda. It's pretty sick. Granted, it does have Elaz, but Velocio, awesome team here. Elaz doing 392 million damage, so very good there. But hey, you kind of got to get the other teams. My best team on Nightmare, I could probably make a 500 million damage team with Obero if I could make her survive. But it's just making her survive. If I could make a million damage plus team, or sorry, a billion damage plus team with Yanaka in there easily, I'll just use that on Nightmare. Brutal will become a Obero team. Hard mode will be a Trunda team. And my Archer, who I grinded for, will be on no team. That's crazy to me, honestly. Imagine grinding so hard for Archer and then using her in none of your teams because they're being cheesed by Yanaka, Trunda, and then an Obero team where Archer's just not going to do better than, essentially. So either way, guys, I want to give you that little wrap up, I guess, of my thoughts or my opinions and stuff I've been seeing. The Yanaka team from Bronco is very cool. It's just now you got to go for Wixwell if you want to compete, right? Let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know what your thoughts are on this stuff. Are you going for Are you chasing it? Are you going for the extra legendary event? Are you going for Wixwell? What are you doing? Are you going to bank on there being a nerf, or are you going to go for it in hopes there is no nerf? I like there being no nerf, but I'd also like Hydra to be restructured, honestly. I like there to be rewards just for participating. So then you're getting stuff even if you're in 4th and 5th place, honestly. It would make it to where if you're not pushing crazy numbers, you don't have to dedicate even more time to the game. It's okay if you do a little bit less. Either way, maybe they adjust in the future. Maybe they give us some participation rewards like they said in the roadmap. I guess we're going to find out soon enough. But now I'm going to go over and do some live arena, guys. So check in tomorrow for that video. Thank y'all for watching. Best of luck. Let me know what you're doing. I'll catch you in the next one.